Lesson 18. Physiological responses to exercise. Effects of warm-up and cool-down, and acute and chronic physiological effects of exercise. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe the purpose of the warm-up and the cool-down, identify acute physiological effects of exercise, and identify chronic physiological effects of exercise. The purpose of the warm-up is to prepare the body for the more strenuous activity to come. It does this by increasing the body temperature. When we increase our body temperature, we're also increasing the temperature of our muscles, our ligaments and our tendons, and this makes them more elastic. So this helps then to protect those muscles, tendons and ligaments from strains or injury. The warm-up also increases our rate of respiration and our heart rate. The reason we want to do this is to bring more oxygen to the working muscles. So basically we are preparing the body for more strenuous exercise. The warm-up kick-starts the aerobic energy systems, and it stimulates the neural pathways, the nerves and muscle metabolism, which leads to a more efficient performance. The purpose of the cool-down then is to lower the body temperature, to remove excess norepinephrine. Norepinephrine is one of the stress hormones which is released during exercise, particularly high-intensity exercise of long duration. If allowed to accumulate in the bloodstream, it can cause irregular heartbeats. So during the cool-down, by recirculating the blood around the body, we are helping to remove the excess. It continues the pumping action of muscles on the veins, which also helps the circulation and the removal of metabolic waste. The possible effects of not cooling down include pooling of the blood. When we are exercising, the body directs more blood to the muscles that we're working, and when we stop exercising then the body takes a little while to adjust this flow of blood, so blood continues to be pumped to the muscles that had been working, and it'll begin to accumulate here unless we disperse it, and this is what we mean by pooling of the blood. The cool down will help to redirect the blood back around the body, and in so doing then it'll also help to remove the waste products such as norepinephrine and lactic acid. Failure to perform a cool down can also result in sluggish circulation, slow removal of those waste products, and cramping or soreness. Delayed onset muscle soreness, also referred to as DOMS. When somebody who has been sedentary takes up an exercise program, it is quite normal for them to feel some stiffness or soreness after their initial training sessions. This is to be expected, and after a day or two it should resolve itself. However, if an athlete or a regular exerciser experiences muscle soreness for between 12 and 48 hours after an exercise session, we refer to this as delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. It's associated with microscopic damage or tiny tears in the muscle after high intensity exercise, and also with the repair and the replacement of those damaged muscle fibres. How sore you feel and how long it lasts will depend on the type, intensity and duration of the activity. The acute physiological responses to exercise. Acute responses are the immediate responses of the body when we begin to exercise. Our heart rate increases. This is in order to bring more blood to the working muscles in order to supply them with more oxygen. Our stroke volume increases. Stroke volume is the amount of blood that is pumped in one beat. During exercise, the heart contracts with more force, and this expels more blood, so therefore the stroke volume increases. Cardiac output increases as a result of the increased heart rate and the increased stroke volume. Our rate of respiration increases in order to bring more oxygen to the muscles and also in order to remove the increased carbon dioxide levels. Systolic blood pressure increases. This is as a result of the increased force of contraction of the ventricles during exercise. However, there's little change to diastolic pressure, and this is because that during exercise, the smaller arteries called arterioles actually dilate in order to bring the blood to the muscles more easily. Venous return. Venous return is the rate at which the veins bring blood back to the heart. If cardiac output increases, then venous return has to increase as well, because the heart can only pump out as much blood as it receives back in, and increased venous return is achieved by the pumping action of the muscles on the veins. Body temperature increases, the elasticity of muscles increases, and the viscosity of synovial fluid decreases, which enables the synovial fluid to better lubricate all of the moving parts of the joints. The chronic then or long-term effects of exercise. The heart may increase in size and in strength, particularly in the area of the left ventricle. The heart is a muscle, and like any other muscle, it will respond to overload. So if we make the heart work harder than it is used to, over time it may become bigger and stronger. Stroke volume. If the heart becomes bigger and stronger, then it will be able to pump more blood in one beat. Resting heart rate will decrease. If our stroke volume increases, then the heart does not need to work as hard to pump blood around the body, as it is able to get out larger volumes of blood in one beat. Cardiac output. As we get fitter, our overall cardiac output increases. Blood composition. The amounts of hemoglobin in the blood increases, and this allows it to carry more oxygen. Our VO2 max will increase with regular exercise. VO2 max is the maximum amount of oxygen that we can use during maximal activity. Blood pressure can be decreased. For previously sedentary people, both systolic and diastolic blood pressure can be lowered by between 6 and 10 millimoles of mercury. Increased or improved muscle strength. Over time and with regular systematic training, muscles become stronger and more efficient at carrying out normal daily activities, as well as being able to work harder during training sessions. Improved body composition. Regular exercise will improve our ratio of fat to fat-free mass, and this in turn will also improve our appearance.